Kitchen making his first appearance in here this morning. Come on, Roger. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I see you work out a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little. So what exactly do you do?
I'm a mental skills coach, so I work with high-performing teams, athletes.
Well, you in the right place today.
Wait a minute, he said mental
Skills
coach.
Well, you say high performance. This is about a high performance. This is Joseph Scott. He's a chemist, actor. David Turner, country financial, the #1 insurance man, thanks to this program in this state of Alabama. Right now.
Jamie Cooper, our narcissist
And you know me
host.
now.
Right.
Now you've done, Todd, you've done the radio show quite a bit.
I have. I've been
Now-
on the Tailgate Talk.
Yeah, tell me. And do you mainly work with athletes? I mean, you can tell I'm a superb athlete.
Right. I could tell just by looking at you.
Or are you see, there's a picture of me right there.
It's amazing what happens when he takes his shirt off.
Take my shirt off.
I'm a little intimidated now. I may have to do some work on myself.
You need to be. Now,
Oh, I need my boots.
what do you do when what are you looking for when you talk? Do you talk to groups or you do individuals?
I do both. So by day I work at NASA and I consult high-performing teams. I do a lot of consulting with leaders out there. So that's the business side of the world. Outside of NASA, I work again with high school students, high school teams. I've worked with UAH hockey, Coach Corbett over there at UAH on the Division 1 level. So I'm working with teams and individuals at the same time.
Emotional intelligence specialist.
Yes.
A lot of people have referred to me that in the past too. But, what the hell does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
I quickly assess people to understand how well they can, how self-aware are they. So in terms of their relationships with other people, and so you think of an athlete on a team, how aware are they of their emotions, and then once they have that self-awareness, can they use that for positive? So how well do they regulate the emotional state they're in order to perform well? And then that snowballs into other things, how well they manage their relationships, how well they influence others, and at the day, what motivates them? Because if the motivation comes from a paycheck or something external like that, that's eventually going to wear off. How well do they motivate themselves intrinsically? The best athletes are the ones that aren't there for the money, the status, or the prestige. They just love it because they love it. And that motivation right there is what drives them to success.
Is that rare to find?
Yes and no.
There's only a few of us that have that.
Well, I know you don't do this for the money.
How do you translate what? Y'all get all that?
Yeah.
What you just said into people like us, maybe a little older type people.
Right.
I'm using y'all in my age category. I mean, do you do something for older people too?
I do. We have assessments that we use so we can give them like a personality assessment, or we can give them an assessment for emotional intelligence.
I ain't taking no test.
Well, that's how we get people to open up a little bit and become more self-aware.
Do you immediately get a vibe from somebody? That's a good person. That's a bad person. They're super intelligent. You know, I mean, you see me. I mean, that comes across you. See most folks don't.
On a serious note, when you do meet someone and
Right.
you're around them for a little time, do you find yourselves trying to evaluate them?
Evaluate wouldn't be the right word. It'd be more of assess.
Assess?
You know, so yeah, I'm a profiler. I read people, so I can quickly assess sort of their personality type, and I can assess, given enough time, sort of where they're at emotionally. Do they manage their emotions well? Can they have effective relationships? Can they achieve goals? Things like that. So I'm really in the space of personality quite a bit. So I really can read somebody probably within less than a minute.
Now, do you
Okay, he's been here how long?
do you do private sessions?
I do consulting one-on-one with leaders. Again, if I have to sit with the team, then it's a team environment. But I work one-on-one with leaders and companies.
Do they always like, or do they mostly dislike what you tell them when you tell them?
Depends on why they're reaching out to me, and there is a graceful way to deliver news.
Gotcha.
So you have to be very sensitive in this space when you're talking to people. We've done, in previous jobs that I've done assessments, and sometimes the information can feel overwhelming to somebody. So you really got to be pretty sensitive in that space.
I'll get back with a few questions in just a moment. First, let me talk to David here. See, I brought him in just I knew you'd be here today. So I wanted him to assess you since you handle all my insurance claims. What's new with Country Financial?
Just make sure everybody knows about our app. You can go into the App Store, download the Country app if you like to use apps and stuff, and just basically want to earn your business. If you haven't called in for a quote, why haven't you? You need to call us. And if you refer someone, we do a quote. We'll send the person who referred us some movie tickets. So just make sure you give them your name, and when you call in, make sure you let Brooke or Laura know. That's my two CSRs. That you want to talk to me, or, because we got another agent in there, so just need to know that.
David Turner, remember
if you
that
can't,
name.
if they can't come see you,
I can definitely come see you. Yeah, I do it all the
will
time.
travel.
Yeah, I've got a Tennessee license too, so we go all over the place.
now what was this last award you just won?
It was a fall celebration they have every year. I've been fortunate enough to win it every year, and
They're going to start naming that after you, aren't they?
No,
Well, I was told.
no, it's
David
just,
Turner
it's just
Award.
for an agents only. So I mean, you go down there for 3
Do
days.
you need any mental performance evaluation?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I'm always seeking to improve myself. So know yourself and seek self-improvement. That's one of the leadership principles. So.
Man, y'all are just getting over my head there. I grew up in the Zig Ziglar age. You remember him? He was
Yeah.
well-known.
Oh, yeah, he was really good.
He died
I've read a
4
bunch
years
of his
ago.
books. He had got a lot of good quotes. and
Yeah,
stuff.
but anyway, hang on there. We're still working our way back over there. What's happening, Joseph?
We had a good time at the beach. It was good to relax
Beautiful
and just
photos.
get away a little bit. Well, it was supposed to rain the whole time we were there, but it really didn't.
You can't ever go
Yeah,
by
you got
that.
there right after I left.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So, but 2 or 3 things going on this week. Let me hit one of them right now because I won't see you again until Thursday. Wednesday night is the Village of Providence Cruise In.
Okay.
That event has become really popular. I mean, probably a couple of hundred cars on a
That
Wednesday
makes
night. You can eat at Taco Mama or all the different places around there. So then.
He's a car guy, too.
And then Thursday, Friday, there's events. It's another one of those weekends where there's something every
We'll
night.
talk about all those coming
That's
up on
great.
That's
Thursday.
right.
All right, Roger. Let's go back to you and talk about me a little bit.
Talk about you. Probably your favorite subject.
Well,
It is.
How did you know that?
Yeah, really.
But,
Because he assessed him really quick.
Only
It is my
takes
favorite subject.
30 seconds with this one.
But the longer I do this, the lazier I kind of get. Is that a common problem with somebody that's been doing it forever?
Complacent.
A job?
Yeah, some people can get complacent. We see it a lot in federal government with sometimes the workforce when they've been there 30, 35 years and they're sunsetting their career, especially if they've
Sunsetting their career?
Sunsetting. I
Yeah.
like the sound
That's
of
what
that.
you're doing, Jamie.
Sunsetting.
Yeah,
And they may have accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, or they're really a significant contributor to a project. But they see that retirement date on the horizon, and a lot of times they've just really gotten content with where they're at, and they're ready just to move on and transition to the next part of their life.
Now, how do you describe the word content? You mean just satisfied with the status quo, or?
I think there's a sense of not striving for something. Like you really have just accepted what you've done, where you're at.
Is there anything wrong with that?
Contentment's huge because when you're content with your life, with your business, with family, I mean, when you're just content, you're just at ease. Almost there's just a sense of no stress or anxiety. You just have a sense of contentment and relaxation with what you're doing, regardless of maybe what's going on.
Is there any way to snap out of that and get back like you used to be, progressive and, taking charge, or
well, let me
is it
ask you-
over? Is life over?
No, I mean, what would
I'm getting a free session here.
I think,
Yeah, you're
those are
getting
two,
a-
I think those are two different things that you're talking about, though, because you can be content and happy and peaceful, but you're saying, how do I get that motivation to
You're
be
looking to
that
strike the
drive
fire again.
He needs another project.
I think
Why don't you just go work for him then?
I can't. I know this subject well.
I think
ahead.
for you like a lot of different things. You like to be excited about a lot of different projects. So I think for you, it's going to have some discernment to come in to say, what really excites me? What gets me out of bed in the morning? What project can I work on? And once you sort of assess through that, then you can, put your teeth into that.
Why is it when you have a new project, and all of us maybe, you dive into it to make it work, and then you get content the longer it goes? But anytime you got a new one, it's all about that.
Right. Some people really enjoy that. They like something new frequently. And so they like the excitement of the new project, the stimulation of it, and what it's going to do. Other people aren't driven that way. Some people like to take one project and just stay with it. There's a certain amount of change that they don't like, and they like the consistency and they like the stability of taking something and just working it from start to finish. That gives them a great deal of satisfaction. Others just like to start. And that's what gives them satisfaction.
So what fuels you?
What fuels me? I think at the end of the day, when I think of power mental performance, I want an athlete or a person, especially a leader, to be mentally and emotionally well. Because I think when you're in that headspace of being mentally and emotionally well, so I look at it in 4 factors too: mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. And when those 4 areas, you feel like you really, even though you're working on them and there may be challenges, when those 4 areas of your life align really well and you just feel okay in those areas, life is so much easier. So for athletes, when I coach them, I want them to be mentally and emotionally well, because that way they can deal with the stress and anxiety of their sport. They can perform under pressure. So they can perform under pressure, they can achieve their goals, their confidence is really high, and they can focus in the moment. And so they're just not sort of drifting all over the place in the middle of those high pressure moments.
So you ever get bored?
Do I ever get bored?
Like right now?
No, you're too entertaining. And, eye candy for the moment. Just no, I'm never bored with you, Jamie.
Never a dull moment.
No.
Roger.
So what about if you're experiencing family problems and you're still trying to carry on your business? How do you work around that mentally?
You block it out.
Ignore
And when
me,
can you
Bob.
fit me in for a session?
So I'll go back.
He's not taking new clients
I'm
right
answer your
now.
question. I'm going to go back to the question you asked me. Do I get bored? I've got an 18-year-old and I got a 14-year-old, a full-time job. I'm married, and I do power. There's very few times where I feel like I'm actually bored just because of life right now. But back to your question in terms of, actually repeat it again. What was? I lost it.
Oh, if you got so family problems, mentally, how does that
balancing it.
affect you to go on and carry on and be successful in life?
Yeah,
Business.
it's hard. The reason.
Okay, fine, I get an answer right.
Right. I mean, the reason it's hard is because it's hard. If you've got family challenges and you got work, I mean, really, it's there's an acronym called WIN. It's W-I-N. What's important now? And so it's the focus in those moments to say, okay, what's important now? Okay, coming to see Jamie Cooper and the television show, that's important now. So when I leave here, what's important now? Next important thing for me is going to work and being present and doing an effective job at work. When I get out of work, what's important now? It's going home and taking care of the family.
I got time for one last question here as I wrap this exciting, exclusive interview with Roger Kitchen at this point, Power Mental Performance. Since you've walked in that door, what have you discovered about a living TV legend in me?
What have I discovered?
How would you describe me?
Fast-paced and outspoken. I think you're relational in the sense that you really do have a genuine interest in people. So you develop relationships pretty quick. You're definitely outgoing, enthusiastic, you're lively. The things that drive you, you like new things, so you like the stimulation of new projects, things that are fast-paced. You don't like slow. Slow stresses you. When things aren't going your way, you can sort of lean in and want it to go your way. And so you can sort of have a very direct leadership approach.
Where's that right on button?
I think one of your challenges is going to be your filter. So sort of what comes in here comes
Look,
out.
you're good.
He's real good.
Would y'all agree with that?
I agree
I would go
100%.
ding, 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 ding. If I could reach it.
Roger, we'll have to get you back up here. That's good.
That's great.
I'll bring out a sofa or something. We can
Oh, if
talk
it's
about
up here, Roger, it's coming out of here.
God bless you.
I knew I was all
Y'all
right.
need to
Now
call
coming
him.
up here. We'll see y'all.
Bye.